Wow, I'm thinking I'm back. So John Wick Chapter 4 is obviously the fourth movie in what is one of the best action movie franchises of all time. It all started with a man seeking revenge because somebody killed his dog. And, you know, 8 years later, look where we are now. One of the biggest action movies in the world. And this movie was worth every minute of the wait. This movie was fucking exceptional. This will easily go down as one of the best action movies of all time. And not just for its, you know, amazing action sequences, shootouts, fights, but because of this story. This story, it's not just John Wick killing people. Like 1 and 2 was sort of that. 3, they started building on this, you know, underground universe with all the high table and all this stuff. But in this film here, that really culminates, and there's just so much going on. There's so many side characters, and all roads lead to John Wick. And man, it was fucking awesome. So this movie clocks in a runtime at 2 hours and 50 minutes. And when I first saw that, I thought, man, I love watching John Wick going on sprees. Don't get me wrong. Like, John Wick 3 was my favorite movie in the franchise, and it still might be. I'm pretty undecided on that. This movie here, every single fight scene feels new and feels different. You get your 10 minutes of nunchucks. Then you get your 10 minutes of John Wick just firing a pistol. Then you get your 10 minutes of hand-to-hand combat. Then you get 10 minutes of sword fighting. Then you get fucking 10 minutes of explosive shotgun shells. There's just fucking, you know, they keep surprising you, sequence after sequence, and it gets better and better. Like the fight scenes in here, man, they are fucking unreal. Keanu Reeves must have trained so hard for this movie. I'm pretty sure he didn't use a stunt double, you know, for 90% of it. And, you know, the work he put in, you can see it pays off here, because these scenes are unlike any other in any action movie. This movie for sure contains the best fight scenes, the best shootouts. Yeah, I reckon the best scenes in any action movie you'll see. And the style of directing changes in this movie. Each fight scene has their own way of being filmed. There's this 10-minute shootout with the explosive shotgun shells, which you'll see, it's fucking mental. And this whole scene, it's about a 10-minute scene. It's from a bird's eye view. It's looking down, and it looks like an arcade. And it's so unique and so interesting, and it was done so fucking well. The side characters in here are for sure the best out of any John Wick film. Donnie Yen, you know, playing a blind man like he did in Rogue One, but here he's like a fucking ninja assassin. That was sick. You had Kenji from Rush Hour playing another samurai. That was fucking awesome. Skarsgård was one of the best action movie villains I've seen. He wasn't cliche. He was totally unique. Doesn't look intimidating, doesn't act intimidating, but people know that if they cross him, they're fucked. Again, there's just so many sequences in here. As I was saying before, they're all different and unique. The whole last act I want to talk about. The last act is about 45 minutes to an hour, and it is non-stop. I actually left this movie feeling exhausted. I was actually tired. I went home and went straight to sleep, like fucking instantly. And that's not because the movie was boring. Don't get it mixed up. It's because the amount of stuff that's going on screen, the amount of shooting and fighting, you look at John Wick and the journey he's going through, and you feel exhausted. Like, it is non-stop. At the very start of the last act, they hit this roundabout in Paris, I believe, and it's like the busiest roundabout of all time. And it was literally a direct scene out of that game fucking Crossy Roads action. John Wick and all these people getting hit by cars, John Wick in a car doing donuts, spraying out the window. It's non-stop, and from there, the movie just kicks into gear and goes up another notch, and man, it's just such a good time at the theater. I want to give some praise to Keanu Reeves, man. He's taken what was, you know, just this action movie about a man getting revenge for his dog being killed. He's taken it and he's launched this movie into one of, if not the best action movie franchise of all time. And his performances in the films, they get better and better. And that's funny because in this film, he speaks all of 20 words. I swear he has like 5 lines of dialogue the entire film. And the lines are 4 or 5 sentences and that's it. So how does this rank for me out of all the John Wick films? This is definitely a tough question to answer. This film here is the best rounded John Wick film, including all the action, the story, what's going on behind the scenes, not just the killing side of things, but this whole world of the high table and all that. This does that best. The actual hand-to-hand combat, the shootouts, this does that best as well. But for me, that third film, I don't know what it is. I think it was that scene with Halle Berry. That third film, I think, will always be my favorite one. And again, that is so hard to decide. I still haven't made my mind up, but for now, as it stands, the third's my favorite, but this is a better film. For sure, this is the best film out of the whole franchise. Literally the only nitpick I can come up with in action movies, when there's scenes like, you know, shootouts and fights, I love it when there's no music. It's just the two actors putting on an amazing performance, fucking just beating the hell out of each other or shooting the hell out of each other, and all you hear is the gunshots and the fists connecting and shit like that. I personally find that so much more enjoyable. This movie here, I think they only do that maybe once. That being said, the music they do use is fucking awesome. It's the typical John Wick music. That's literally the only nitpick I can come up with. That's literally it. I don't want to spoil anything, but the way this film ends is just, this is going to divide a lot of people. But for me, I've thought about this quite a lot. I've spoken to my brother about it quite a lot. And we both agree that this is the perfect ending to this movie. I mean, the perfect ending. It was the kind of ending where it leaves it up to the viewer to interpret what it's just seen. It's up to you. The filmmaker, you know, gives you the scene, gives you the dialogue, gives you the hints, sets it all out, and then, you know, have a think about it. What do you think happened? How do you think it ended? And I love when movies do that. It literally keeps you guessing, keeps you talking. So, you know, people are going to have mixed opinions about this, you know. People are going to think something happened. Others are going to think something else happened. And I love the way they've done it here. It's a culmination of all 4 movies. I really hope this isn't the end for the franchise, but if it is, I feel like they've summed it up and they've finished it off absolutely perfectly. I haven't gone into great detail here. There is so much to unpack and discuss when it comes to this movie, but I just want people to go out and see it, and I want to let people know that I love this movie. This movie is easily one of the best all-rounded action films of all time. I probably haven't, you know, even touched the surface of what went on in this movie and how good this movie was, but it is just an amazing time at the theater. So definitely go see it, and I'm going to give this film a 9.5 out of 10.
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
So there's my quick thoughts on John Wick Chapter 4. If you've seen it, which I hope you have, let me know what you think. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.